Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham destroy eye poker. Jacy Sheldon and Marina Mabrey. June 17th wasn't just another basketball game, it was payback time. Remember May 30th when Jacy Sheldon left two Fever players injured on the floor with dirty plays that went completely unpunished? Well, Caitlin Clark and her teammates remembered everything. When Sheldon decided to poke Clark right in the eye during their rematch, something inside the Indiana Fever snapped. What happened next will show you exactly why you never mess with Clark's squad, because Sophie Cunningham was about to deliver the most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed. The nightmare began back on May 30th when the Indiana Fever faced the Connecticut Sun in what should have been a routine matchup. Instead, it turned into a horror show that had every Fever fan's blood boiling. The Sun came out with a level of aggression that crossed every line from competitive basketball to straight up dangerous assault. You could feel the tension building from the opening tip, but nobody was prepared for what Jacy Sheldon was about to unleash on the court. Sophie Cunningham went down first. The contact was brutal. Too brutal for what should have been normal basketball. Then Sydney Colson got hurt in another questionable play that had everyone asking what the hell was happening out there. The worst part, Sheldon was right in the middle of both incidents, playing with the kind of reckless style that makes you question if she even belongs in professional basketball. Two players injured by the same person in the same game, and the refs acted like they were watching paint dry instead of calling the obvious fouls.
But here's what makes this story even more insane.
Sheldon and Clark have been going at each other since their college days when Iowa faced Ohio State. Sheldon made it her personal mission to get under Clark's skin every single time they met on the court. She would shadow Clark everywhere, bump her on screens, talk trash during dead balls. This wasn't basketball anymore, this was a personal vendetta that had been building for years. College rivalries don't just disappear when you go pro, they get more intense. The referees that night seemed to be watching a completely different game than everyone else. Hard fouls went uncalled, dangerous plays got ignored, and Clark had to watch her teammates get hurt while Sheldon walked away without even a warning. The Fever fought hard but lost 85-83, and more importantly, they lost two key players to injuries that could have been prevented if the officials had done their jobs properly. You could see it in Clark's eyes after that loss, the way she looked at Sheldon during the handshake line. This wasn't over, not by a long shot. Fast forward to June 17th, and Clark is back from her quad injury after a dominant win against the then undefeated New York Liberty. She's ready to face the Connecticut Sun again, and you can tell she remembers exactly what happened last time. The way she walks onto the court, the way she looks at the Sun players during warm-ups, this isn't just another game for her. The familiar tension is hanging in the air like a storm cloud ready to burst. Sheldon is guarding Clark like her life depends on it, getting way too close for comfort, doing all the little dirty tricks that make basketball ugly.
Then comes the moment that changes everything.
Third quarter. Clark is bringing the ball up court when Sheldon comes over to defend. She goes for what looks like a steal attempt, but her finger goes straight into Clark's eye. The contact is immediate and obvious. You can see Clark's head snap back from the impact. Clark immediately grabs her face, squinting, trying to clear her vision, but you know she's thinking about more than just physical pain. This is the same player who hurt her teammates, now coming after her with the same dirty tactics that went unpunished before. Clark does what any competitor would do. She pushes back, literally shoving Sheldon away after getting her eye poked. It's a natural human reaction when someone jabs their finger into your eye socket. But somehow, the refs are about to make this whole situation worse. They hit Clark with a technical foul for defending herself after getting eye poked. A technical foul for pushing back after someone potentially tried to blind her. The decision made absolutely no sense to anyone with functioning brain cells. But the eye poke was just the beginning, because Marina Mabrey was watching all of this unfold and decided to take things to a whole different level. Right after Clark gets that bogus technical, Mabrey comes over and does something that shocked everyone in the arena. This wasn't basketball contact. This was straight up assault. Mabrey body checked Clark like this was hockey instead of basketball, sending her tumbling backward onto the court. The hit was so obvious and so unnecessary that even casual fans could see what just happened. Clark hits the floor hard, and you can see the shock on her face as she realizes another Connecticut Sun player just took a cheap shot at her. The entire Fever bench jumps up because they just watched their star player get assaulted right in front of the referees. Coach Stephanie White is losing her mind on the sidelines, screaming at officials who somehow missed a player getting body slammed. The crowd is going absolutely crazy because they can't believe what they're seeing unfold on their home court. After 15 minutes of review, the refs give Mabrey just a common technical foul, the same penalty they gave Clark for defending herself. Technical fouls all around, like they're handing out participation trophies instead of actually controlling the game. The message was clear. You can assault Caitlin Clark and get the same punishment as the person getting assaulted. But Sophie Cunningham was watching all of this, and she was about to send a message of her own. End of the game, clock ticking down, but Cunningham isn't thinking about the score anymore. She's thinking about May 30th when she got hurt. She's thinking about watching Clark get her eye poked with no real consequences. She's thinking about Marina Mabrey body checking her teammate to the ground. When Sheldon goes for a fast break layup, Cunningham lines her up and delivers the most satisfying flagrant foul you'll ever see.
Cunningham wraps Sheldon up hard and pulls her down, but she does it smart. This isn't a dirty play designed to injure. This is a message. She bear hugs Sheldon and takes her to the ground in a way that says, if the refs aren't going to handle business, we will. It was intentional, absolutely intentional, but it was also controlled. Sheldon got up, ready to go, no injury, just a clear understanding that the Fever weren't going to be pushed around anymore. A whole scuffle breaks out, both teams running onto the court, but the damage is done. The Fever got their revenge after that brutal May 30th loss. Clark got her justice after getting eye poked and body checked. Sophie Cunningham became a hero for standing up when it mattered most. Sometimes the officials won't protect you, but your teammates always will. That's exactly what happened when the Indiana Fever showed the basketball world they're not backing down from anybody. This wasn't just beating the Sun, this was the Fever proving they won't be bullied, they won't be intimidated, and they protect their own. The victory sends them to the championship, but more importantly, it sends a message to every team in the league. You can try to hurt Caitlin Clark, you can try to intimidate the Fever, but there will be consequences. Sophie Cunningham made sure of that, and Fever fans will never forget the day their team finally got the justice they deserve.